Learning to transition through your volleys is a key component to actually being able to put the ball away when you're at the net. We're going to go over some very, very critical parts that are often overlooked, and a lot of it has to do with the timing of the footwork. We're going to look at examples from Federer and from Sock, and in this video you're really going to understand how that timing of the footwork is so crucial for you being able to really step up your volley game. We're going to look at 4 different examples, and we're going to look at Federer first. So on this first volley, I want you to notice that he split steps, then he does his unit turn and his load off of his outside foot, his left foot, then he makes contact right here, or right before there, right here, then he lands with his right foot. Now, often you have the idea that you always load and then step, and then hit. So a step, step, hit. But now we're gonna work on the understanding that when you wanna transition through the volley, the most effective way, and the way that you're gonna see on the pros a lot, is to actually step, hit, and then step. So let's look at this one more time. So landing of the split step, load step, outside foot, hit, then landing with the inside foot. Now you're not going to do this on every single volley, but it's really important on the volleys that you want to transition through. It's a great way to have a good contact point and really good balance as you move forward through the volley. Now let's look at a forehand example from Federer. On this one, he's actually reaching a little bit further out, but you're going to see, so he lands the split step, then from there, he's got outside foot load, then contact, then the inside next step. So it's really important that it's step, hit, step. Now let's switch and look at Sock as a different type of player here. So he's going to, again, land the split step, and you're gonna see the load on the outside foot, the contact point here, right here, and then the inside left foot lands. So it's really important to understand that this is how you give yourself the most balance, and the contact point and the strongest point right in the middle is going to be key for developing that step, hit, step. So many times you'll see a player step, step, and then hit, and they're hitting so far in front that you have no way to actually put the ball away. You want to be able to have a little bit more control while you're transitioning through the ball, and having that step, hit, step helps give you that transition. Now, like I said, you're not going to do this on every single volley by any means, and even the pros don't do this on every single volley, but you will see a high percentage of them doing it on this volley where it's step, hit, step, because they are transitioning through. You won't see it as much in practice as you will actually in match play. One more example here, the last one of Federer here on the backhand side again. He's going to land the split step, again to the unit turn with the load on the outside leg, and clearly he's making contact with the ball. This is a little bit higher volley, and still then following it through with the inside right leg. The timing of this is really the critical part, and it's kind of hard to actually practice, but I recommend, if I back this up here, you're gonna see if you start by actually just loading off this outside leg like Federer is doing right now and hitting your volley off of that outside leg. So you would actually hit the volley without taking the step. You would hit from this position right here where Federer is. You would stay loaded and then have the ball come into your contact zone and hit from that position. The more you practice that, the more you're going to feel comfortable hitting off that leg, especially if you're used to always stepping into your volleys. This will help you to have that more comfortable feeling of hitting off that outside foot, because there's going to be plenty of volleys as time goes where the ball is coming at you and you don't have time to actually even transition through the ball, and you'll end up hitting off that outside foot. So you want to be comfortable with that. So that's a really great way to practice. And then you can start actually getting in the timing and segmenting it. So you can stay off the outside foot like you're gonna see here, and then hit, and then step through. So you can actually segment it so it's not actually flowing, but you take the step, someone feeds you the ball, whether ball machine, partner, coach, whoever, and you stay, you hit, and then you transition through way after you actually make contact with the ball. Then after you feel comfortable, then you can start to speed it up like you're gonna see here with Federer, where you load on the outside foot and you hit and then you follow through. So it's a much more flowing pattern. So I'm gonna play this in real time for you, so you're gonna be able to see how he flows through the ball. And you're gonna notice that you didn't even notice the footwork, you just noticed that it was really smooth and balanced. And a lot of that has to do with how he's transitioning through and the timing of the footwork that's happening when he's making contact. So he's stepping, then hitting, then stepping. He's not stepping, stepping, hitting. Now again, I'm not saying that you're not ever going to step, step, hit, because there are plenty of times where that's gonna happen. And there are plenty of times where you're only gonna take a step off the outside foot and hit there, so it's only gonna be a step hit. But if you're transitioning through, what you're gonna primarily see in match play of high-level players is that footwork and that timing of the step, hit, step. Now, one big key element is to make sure you're using video, because without video, as you just saw when I played Federer in full time, you're not going to be able to really see your footwork or feel exactly what's happening because of the timing of what you're used to, especially if you're trying to break a habit. So make sure to use video so that you can really see what's going on and you can understand how to develop that step, hit, step, so that you can make sure that you're putting away your volleys when you're at the net.